Welcome to our Thursday night coffee or tea hour in April 2020. We will be doing our calls, these Zoom events, every Thursday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, except for April 9th. Today, Roger Barnett mentioned that on Thursday, April 9th at 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, he's going to be doing a private or a national Zoom event for everyone to go over all the excitement that he's going to be sharing on April 4th. So save Thursday night, April 9th for him. But all the other Thursdays in April, we'll be doing this Gen Team Zoom event on the 16th, the 23rd, and the 30th. We will be starting it at 7:45 so we can have conversation, get to hear what great things are going on for everybody, because we are in a new day and a new opportunity in Shaklee. We as a nation are in a heightened awareness of the values which Shaklee has represented for over 60 years. So we're so well positioned to grow and to grow exponentially. And so we have some exciting news for you, and Thursday nights will be devoted to that. I'm working in collaboration with my upline and your upline, Presidential Master Coordinator Carolyn Whiteman, to provide a service to each of you. And thank you for being on this evening. Your customers, leaders, and builders, we will share this information with you because we feel that this will assist you to take full advantage of all the benefits that are going to be offered to you in the next week or so. Okay. You know, another thing I wanted to mention was when I made my run for Master, this so reminds me of that time. And I think of a quote which really I thought about when I went for Master and I became Master, and the quote is from Kobe Bryant, and it's called the Mamba mentality. The Mamba mentality is all about focusing on the process and trusting in the hard work when it matters most. So trust in the process, and then trust in yourself to put in the hard work that will matter the most for you and your business. So think of the word process. But don't forget, number one, our heritage. Dr. Shaklee's philosophy, we're the original wellness company. Wow, what a statement we have to embrace our 60-year history since 1956. I have the story of the Dr. Shaklee from a young man, and if you don't have that in your repertoire, please email me and I'll send it to you. It's a wonderful letter to read at your meetings, to share with your new builders, so that when they come in to the business, your new distributors, your new members, they'll embrace our philosophy and our history. And then we have this legacy and our new leader, Roger Barnett, not so new, he's been around for a while now, thankfully, and his vision for the future and what he offers us and the backbone of financial strength. The brilliance of his mind and his vision is going to take us so much, continue to make us and grow further. The other thing that's so important about a process is to keep it simple and duplicatable. That's what made me be a master, was because I kept a very simple process with everyone that knew that I met, and I had them follow the same process. And I didn't go over here and over there and, oh, that looks really good. Let me try that. Maybe that'll make me grow faster. Or let me go over here and let me try that and that'll make me grow faster. What you're going to see tonight is a process that helped me build my master coordinatorship. So one, of course, it's about new people. And how many of you have heard me say we want to build a balanced business? We have to work our product side, our right side might be our product side, and we build that muscle strong. And that's a slower growth that provides a very strong and stable foundation. Without good product sales and without a good product foundation of consumers that are with us for a long, long time, you will not stand the test of time. So build that product sales muscle. And then your left side is your business muscle. Now your business muscle is faster growth and it's the bigger picture. Now is the time to really, and so right-handed. Left-hand business faster growth, I had to develop that. I had to say, okay, I'm putting on my business hat because I want to grow faster. In 1 year, I doubled or tripled my business during that time that I looked at business, faster growth, big picture. So let's look at building a balanced business, but we're going to be very strong in business and faster growth, big picture during this time, because there are people that are in need. So I'm going to turn this over now to Carolyn to share what our big driver is. Carolyn?
Is that a Tesla, do I guess?
That is, I think it's a Lamborghini.
Okay, well, whatever it is, it's definitely a hot red vehicle. And first of all, thanks to you, Joanne, and to all of you for including me in this great group. And we really are a team. And I get to do an acknowledgement because when we think about it, Joanne was actually a master coordinator before I was. And it was because of what you did, Joanne. I remember saying to you, okay, you did it. I guess it's my turn. And so you actually were a master before I was. So thanks for providing that example. We get to accept the fact, or maybe take on the fact, that we are part of a magnificent profession, which is called network marketing. Now, for many of us, when we first became a part of it, we didn't consider it a profession. We had no idea what it was. And honestly, over the years and the decades, the business has obviously grown and changed a lot. But one of the core values of network marketing is that it's important to have a process that people can duplicate. Now, I'll give sort of a unpleasant analogy, but if anyone has ever questioned an analogy of geometric progression, which is really what network marketing represents, it starts slowly at the beginning. You don't really get paid very much. You're still learning. You're an apprentice. You've only got a handful of people. You really can't see where it's going to go. And without the big picture vision of realizing what's possible, most people quit. And they quit too soon. And unfortunately, the challenging analogy that's right in front of us is what happens when you have a live virus, where really only a handful of people in one community can be the ones that end up spreading something that doubles and doubles and doubles and doubles. It's unfortunately a very unhappy example of geometric progression, but that's what we get to represent. And only we're doing it from the standpoint of something that's really good and that we want to be able to spread the word of what it is we have to offer. So I think that's where we start. We're in a time right now where people are looking for something they can trust. They're looking for something that supports their health. They're looking for something that supports their finances. And they're looking for something that they can do at home, virtually, taking advantage of all of the internet values and social media that are available. So we're in the right place at the right time. And for us to be able to humbly celebrate the fact that our businesses are exploding, while literally around us, people's lives are imploding. So.
Thanks, Carolyn. And this next slide shares some of what the big message of what Roger's offering us this year, that we have to really, and boy, there's so many of you on this call that are so close to any one of these extra award earnings. So Carolyn, would you share this slide, please?
Sure. I think the most important thing about this slide is not to pay attention to the numbers in the middle, and really not to pay attention so much to the titles on the left, as to realize that there's actually a cash premium advantage that is being offered to anyone starting from square one, that can be as much as $20,000 gravy for doing the things that will actually create a business which will actually earn something beginning around $30,000 a year. So imagine the power of that, being able to say to someone, because now what is it, 6 million people, 8 million people that are applying for unemployment, to be able to say to them, what if between now and the end of the year, you could actually create an alternate career. That doesn't mean stop doing the things that you love when they become available again. But what if you could start an alternate career that by the end of the year, if you do what's required, you could have an income that would begin at around $30,000 a year, and which would have a $20,000 additional award, bonus that you would get for accomplishing that. That's a pretty stunning kind of an offer to make, in addition to some of the things that will be announced on Saturday.
Yes, and Roger mentioned that there are currently 6 million people unemployed right now, and it could go to 30 to 40 million people in the United States. That's such a sad and sorry statistic. And so we have the opportunity to make a difference. Now let me bring it down to the OPA supplement to Shaklee Dream Rewards. I don't know how many of you have this particular sheet. The next two slides are on one sheet, but this is what we talk about in keeping a simple process and understanding the steps that need to be gone through. So this first page just basically starts at the how do you enter someone, what are some of the different names, and this is good for Lauren, who's brand new, and I'm going to be working with her to help her understand who we are and what is going on with our business, and that we have to follow the process and the model for people. So the OPA supplement, to me, I laminate my sheet and I keep it in my office, right in my desk, just as I keep the Dream Plan, the Shaklee Dream Plan laminated in my desk, so that I know what I'm talking about. And I know I get questions from everybody. What rank is what rank and how much volume? Well, I have to refer to it to everybody. So get those two sheets and have them laminated in your office and keep them at your desk and study it and look at it and determine where you want to go. Carolyn, share this sheet, because Pam turned me on to this morning. This came out from Bob Ferguson. Would you talk about master the power of duplication and what that means?
Sure. This is a great example. Pay attention to just the first three columns. The first one is the personal business, which is represented on this. This is a senior master coordinator. So he personally purchased 100 PV points sometime yesterday or today. That's personal business. His group volume, meaning the people that he had personally sponsored, was actually another 354 points. So he got credit for 454. But because he has a business organization, that business organization in the first 2 days of the month already had over 22,000 in volume that had been purchased by the combination of individual people and business leaders in his business organization. And that's just 2 days of business.
I'm going to explore that a little bit further for each of you to understand it. So for example, what we show, let's take the bottom on the top line over here. You have that if you do $5,000 volume a month, what you would earn as a Shaklee director and above is about 36% on that 5,000 volume sales, which would give you about $1,800 a month. And many of you have that. I want to congratulate Susie Sunkel, who's on the line. She did over 13,000 for the month of March. And I don't know if Mary Kay Nealand is on, but she did over 11,000 for the month of March. her upline is on. Julie Keating is her sister, and Colleen DeGainer is the sales leader above Julie. But you know, that's what you would make on that. But 36% return on something that you've been working on is pretty excellent, because you wouldn't get that in the bank. Also, if you sold retail, you'd get another 20%. But let's look at the leadership bonuses in the second square down and go to the bottom. If you find 3 people who do the 5,000, and you teach those 3 people to teach 3 people, and you teach those 3 people to teach 3 people, you would have a monthly income of, or a yearly income of over 120,000 versus 21,000. Mary Loomis always said, who helps more people? A person who has their own business that sells to their own customer base, or teaching and training other people to earn their income as a master coordinator or senior coordinator or executive coordinator. We help more people because we're helping people earn a greater income and reach more people. So teach others and get paid on teaching others to become successful and earn their income. Everyone has to do their own work. Everyone owns their own business, yet we get paid by educating them, teaching them to build a successful business. I'm going to turn this over now to the main topic that's going to be covered this evening that will help you duplicate yourself to be able to earn and develop those 3, who will develop those 3, who will develop those 3. And I'm going to turn it over to Pamela Budner. Pam?
Thank you, Joanne. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm so excited about what we're going to next reveal to you all. And at the top, you see the words PWN Partners. This stands for Partnership with Nature Partners, and it's a new program that we're launching collectively, spearheaded by Carolyn, that is really a new process, and Joanne loves that word. It's a new process. It's new, but it's familiar because it's on a platform. It will be on a platform that we're all familiar with, and that's Facebook. And it's going to be on a private Facebook page called PWN Partners. You can get into that page only by invitation, so it's going to be a very closed and collective group of people that have a certain vision and focus of wanting to really know more about Shaklee in a concentrated curriculum. And it's really for 3 different types of people. It's for brand new people to get them off going in the right direction. So it's a really fresh new way for a member to have a complete orientation to everything about Shaklee. It's also for people who've been around for a while and maybe they would enjoy a refresher on what Shaklee is all about. I don't know if you all are experiencing this, you who are sales leaders and have been in Shaklee for a while, but right now in this situation that we are in with the pandemic, I have so many people who have surfacing and bubbling out through my database who I haven't heard from in quite a while. And it's a wonderful opportunity for me to be able to say, would you like a refresher? And this will be a place to send them. And the third thing, or third group of people it's for, are for people who want to move from member to becoming actively engaged in the business, to become a distributor. So that's what this platform is all about. And we're so excited about it. And Carolyn's going to share a little bit more.
Carolyn, I'm going to turn over the screen share to you. So you're going to be bringing up the Facebook page, PWN Partners, so that we're going to walk you all through what that particular site is like. And Pam, would you mention how people get to access to that site?
Do you want to bring it up, Joanne, and then you can give me, why don't you bring it up and then I'll take it if you want.
Yeah.
Because I don't have it on my screen.
All right, well, okay, you want me to put it up there.
Well, I
thought you had it. You had it available. Can you just go into your Facebook page and pull it up on your screen, and then I can, if you.
Alrighty, hang on.
Can I do it?
Yeah, I can have, anybody, either one of you can pull it up and I can have you share it.
Okay, I have it
I'll
up.
get it.
You have it
I'll
up,
get it.
Pam? Okay, and I'm going to give you access to the share screen. Scott, can you give her
I
access?
have it also, Joanne.
All right, then Carolyn has it. That's fine.
Okay, multiple participants. Okay.
I tell you what, I feel like I'm a token individual in a room full of women here, and I'm not seeing. I feel like am I the only guy on this call this evening?
No,
never
there's
mind.
Rick
Now I'm seeing other
Manley.
people.
No, there's Rick Manley. There's
Scott?
Gary's here.
Scott
Gary,
Holman,
Scott.
Gary Mendelson, Earl Knudsen. Many of us have husbands that are behind us, but they're not computer literate, maybe. So Quentin, there are also, if you look at some of the multimillionaires in Shaklee, most of them are men, and so it's all a matter of your thinking. All right, let me give you the share screen. Okay, Scott, can you turn it over to Carolyn to share the screen?
She should be able to just roll her mouse over her screen and there a little green button will pop up on the bottom that says share screen.
Okay, Carolyn on the bottom, or Pam, can you see that on the bottom? There you go. Okay, got it. Thank you.
There we go. Thanks. Do you want me to start from here, Joanne?
Yeah, I think that you and Pam can take it from here, and then I'll insert some information if you'd like.
So here's going back to what we said about having a process and having a way to educate people and having a way to bring people in that is a something consistent, and also something that doesn't require us to become PhDs in our business before we move forward, because that's what tends to hold people back. So this particular platform has given us the opportunity to do a member orientation. And as Pam said, there's several kinds of people for whom this is valuable. One of the fact that because of the way the company is structured, a lot of promotions, many people become members automatically without even knowing what it is. And so one of my invitations to each one of us is to very upfront, when we have whatever, oh yes, and this gives you a free membership, to make sure that we also add, and with that membership will come an orientation, which we will make available to you, which will give you an introduction to the full array of benefits, and which, when you go through this introduction, actually comes with a gift at the end. So that's a part of what I believe we need to do, because otherwise we're going to end up with a lot of people sponsored who have no idea what they're doing and have no idea about the rest of the Shaklee benefits. Pam, you want to throw anything in on that?
No, I would just say that, having it's just so great to be able to have one place, I liken it, I think back when I was a freshman in college and you're given the opportunity to take these 101 courses. And I remember taking, Art History 101, not because I was a studio artist or I wanted to major in it, but here I was in a new environment. And for some people who are brand new to Shaklee, this is a whole new environment. They don't know much about network marketing. They maybe know one little thing about Shaklee, but it is really a rich place. And you can go here and take Shaklee 101. And you may just want to be a user of the product. You may want to skyrocket with the business, but everyone starts with the same curriculum. This is the 101 place to go. So, and what I love about it is that each unit builds on the one before, on the one before, on the one before, and there's a built-in way you can reward anyone, whether they are just refreshing or they're a new member or they want to go to distributor. There is a little rewards that are built into this that we can offer people for completing the curriculum. So I'm very excited about it.
Thanks, Pam. So here's the way it works. When a person is invited to be a part of this, and as we said, this is a private secret group, and we're still doing a lot of experimenting. But when someone is invited, they will come in, and they're the first 4 units are the units that they will use for their orientation. Unit number 1 is just a welcome, and it explains a little bit about the loyalty rewards, how does the business work, a little introduction to Dr. Shackley, some information about Amazon, which we call the black market supply, a little bit on the Shackley difference, and then the opportunity to download the sheet, which products do you use. And so this little orientation is just, it takes a few minutes. And it's just an introduction. Hey, you got your membership. The heart of it comes down into Unit 2. And Unit 2, within about 30 minutes, you can go through each one of these segments, and literally it rolls from one post to the next. Most of these are 2 minutes, 30 seconds, 3 minutes, 1 minute 40 seconds. And what this does is give you an introduction to nutrition, weight management, youth skincare, personal care, kids programs, immune support, the green products, pure performance, a couple of specialty products, and then a quick introduction to one of the most valuable products, which is the earning opportunity. And so this is the core of the learning part. And when a person goes through that, then we say, well, are you ready for your gift? And if so, what you do is you will continue to Units 3 and 4. Units 3 is just some nuts and bolts. How do you redeem your loyalty rewards, possible next steps, and just a reminder to talk to your mentor leader. And then congratulations, now you're part of the Shackley family. Remind you to download again, which products do you use, and to reconnect with your mentor leader to give them the award that they will give you for getting this far through. So that's the beginning. Pam, you want to say anything about that?
No, Pam, Carolyn, I'll mention a little
sure.
bit. I went through, what I love about this, there's nothing better than training people on something that you get excited about, because then you really get to know it. So today, Pam and I spent a couple of hours in this site and actually went through the new member orientation. And it was just so, and it's still being worked on. You know, we're reviewing to make sure the flow is right, and we appreciate comments, because the best consumer is the informed consumer. So when you look at the charts that I showed you, the most important thing is to work your product muscle and get your good consumer members going properly so that you can have a good, strong foundation to hold your directorship and above solidly. This is what this particular site is all about. There's 3 other sites that are going to be available, there'll be 2 sites for business and 2 sites for product, but we're only going to deal with one right now. This is the most significant, and it's especially, Quentin, for you who want to build a business and want to build a consumer base. This would be the first site for you to really go through. I'm going to have Lauren go through this and experience what a new member might go through. So when she has to deal with some of my people that I have coming on board, she'll understand what the process is and how people go forward. What I love about it, I don't know about you, but I go into the Shackley website and I try to find something that I want so I can inform someone. This to me is easy, all in one place, has 1 minute, 2 minute clips, and it's so much easier for me to find. So I really appreciate all the work that Carolyn did for this, because Carolyn has set this up herself along with her staff and whoever she has helping her. And we're just helping her along with editing it and kind of fine tuning it.
Well, thanks, Joanne. This is it's a team effort, but this is the first 4 units. Now what I'd like to do is just continue and let you see that this is like Pam said, this is 101, but we also have access to either 102 or 201. And that is, we have some additional units. So for example, and these are optional, but once you go through these, my invitation to you as a leader is to make notes on this, because as you go through this, there's a little bit more about core nutrition. There's a little bit more about the Get Clean products. There's a little bit more about healthy weight, starting with the Prove It Challenge. There's a little bit more about youth. There's a little bit more about fitness and the Olympians. There's a little bit more about some specialty products, including like MindWorks and Vivix. And then the last one is don't skip over the real benefits, which is a little bit more on the earning opportunity. And so these are the sort of fill-in support areas. And what you can do as a leader, as you become comfortable with these, if you have someone that is in this site, you can tag them to the particular thing you want them to see and just send it to them. So this is the resources.
Great.
Hey, Carolyn, maybe for people who are not totally familiar with Facebook, would you explain what tagging means? It may be it sound very elementary, but I bet there's a few people who may not understand that.
No, that's a great question. And one of the things we're all going to get to learn is a little bit more about technology. And from what I understand, Kristen Cunningham is doing some really good support things on the corporate site that will begin to educate people. But for example, let's say I'm talking to Pam about Vivix. And Pam is a member. If I want to go into this Vivix testimonial here, what I can do is tag Pam by sending a message to her and saying, here's where I want you to go. This is where that particular article is. So I can make a comment, send it to you, Pam, and then you can come back and you will know, you'll go exactly to the place that I've sent you to. That's kind of it in a nutshell.
Okay, thanks.
And I know you mentioned that it's a private and secret group. So, and the reason that is too is because there will be some testimonials in here at points which cannot be generally made public. So, and some people have a concern on Facebook, so it creates everybody's privacy and protection. So that's also a good point about it.
Well, and the other thing, honestly, is this is just plain too new. And as Joanne was saying, we get to a place where we've just got to begin focusing our energies on our own family and our own business. And so that's really the reason that we've done this, this is just, we've got to get it right before we get other people in saying, what are you doing? We don't have it organized all yet.
Exactly. So there's a really great business site, which is the one I really wanted to see because, as you know, my passion is business and strong income streams. And so that is available, that's in the works, so that will be available for further progression as we go forward. So with that said, Carolyn, do you have anything else you want to show on this, or do we want to go and open it up for discussion?
I think we can open it for discussion, Joanne. What you may want to do is talk about the process, though, about how someone can ask to be a member. because people need to be approved to be here.
Yeah,
And so you
Pam
want
was
to say
going to cover
something about that?
Yeah, Pam was going to mention that. Pam, are you comfortable with that?
Well, I know that's what it is. I'm not quite sure what the questions are that give you access. In other words, it's like, you can apply to the,
Well, actually, you have to be invited.
you have to be invited, and then you have to answer a few questions, which
Yes.
will help you discern what your intention is. And then the administrator approves your entry into the site.
So
So
basically the questions are, for example, if Pam wants to come in, it's going to say who sponsored you.
Right.
And that would be, well, I sponsored by Joanne. And then whose business organization are you in? Because, for example, someone that's in Joanne's business organization will have direct contact with Joanne. If there's someone in my organization, then I'm responsible for them.
Right.
And what we are looking to do is to be able to develop our generational leadership so that it doesn't just depend on us, but so that we are able to strengthen the leadership of the other leaders on our team so they in turn can begin to develop and mentor their own people, if that makes sense.
Yes.
yes, so for example, I sent out to many of you, and if you haven't received it from me, let me know, but I sent out to many of you on this call an invite to join the PWN partners. And I'll use Mary Beth Petricus as an example. She then invited about 4 or 5 or more other people who tried to get into the site. I couldn't accept them in because they didn't answer the questions. And I knew that Mary Beth it told me that Mary Beth had invited them in, and I had to go back to Mary Beth and say, the questions need to get answered. So this is wonderful to follow up on, because she then has to follow up with them to say, oh, you have to answer the questions. Thank you for trying to become a member of this secret group. And here are the questions, and this is the way you should answer them. So it allows us the follow-up that's necessary to build the relationship, to really get to understand that someone is actually looking at this, is interested, and wants to follow through on it. And guess what? You don't have to do all the talking. That's what I love about it too. We don't have to learn all this stuff. You know how I don't really like technical stuff. I like to share the big picture and strategy and all that, but I don't want to have to necessarily teach about every product point. So it really is like having a whole staff of people at your fingertips, but you're the person who has to build the relationships, do the follow-up, and that's what creates the team, and that's what creates the duplicatable effort of creating an organization of people.
Could I say
You should
something,
add
Joanne?
something else, Joanne. Oh, I'm sorry, Pam. Go ahead.
I just wanted to, if we take it back to how Carolyn introduced this this whole program tonight, and we take it back to where we are in this situation in our world right now, what are people looking for? They're looking to explore places that they can feel are grounded in trust. Trust is a really big thing. In fact, on the news tonight, I was hearing about how Zoom is now being a little threatened because there's people that are hacking in and doing things on Zoom that aren't right now.
Actually, I had someone show up in my Zoom room when I was with Carolyn. We
Yeah.
said, who's that?
Yeah, so there's that layer. So people are looking for trust. They're looking for a place that supports health, that supports finances, and that they can do from home. So if this is private, that engenders trust right there. It's not for everyone. There's a layer that you have to go through before you can enter this group. And I think that particular aspect of it, imbues that trust that everyone needs right now. It's just part of the deal.
The other piece is that what we are offering by the collaboration of the leaders is a small gift. to someone who actually goes through the basic orientation. And the gift will be, it will require, let's say, using the analogy that Pam was the one who came through, it would require Pam getting back to her business leader, Joanne, and saying, I've been through this, allowing them to have a conversation about what did you get, what did you hear, what did you like, you know, any questions, and feeling that they've completed that, then we can give them a gift. And there are 3 suggested packages of gifts that are modest, but are nice little gifts. One has to do with nutrition, one has to do with a healthy medicine chest, and the other has to do with, what was the other one, Pam? Skincare. And they're set up in a way that the director is able to afford them, and the person who receives it, it's a nice gift. And then the director, when they have determined that the person's gone through it, the director can go into their account, add the gift to their account from the company, and when they next place an order, that gift will be delivered to them and shipped to them along with their order.
And we're going to be opening it up for questions shortly. And it is during this time that, and we don't know when this stay home sequestering in our homes is going to end. It's a difficult time, and so people also are looking for this community, as Pam mentioned. But the message that we have on teaching people about wellness and protecting our environment, Roger just said right now that we are so at the peak of interest in what our company is and what we offer now. And people are coming out of the woodwork. Our businesses are up 50%. The whole corporation is up 50%. And he said, you know, that's not going to bottom out. That's not going to level up. People after this big, huge scare are going to be taking better care of their health. They're going to be taking care of cleaning their home. Just think about how this virus is killed. It's killed by doing good cleaning and soap and good products like ours. So we have to me, it's like Shaklee starting fresh and new, and yet we're not fresh and new. We have big businesses, many of us. Some of you have really good businesses. Some of you are just starting, and you have the wealth of this opportunity in this time to take advantage of it. Carol and many of us on this call are multimillionaires because of the time and effort we put into our Shaklee business. And that time is now for each of you that want to look at a career that is a career with a conscience, that has a philosophy of the golden rule, doing unto others as you would have them do unto you, the win-win situation. By helping others be successful, you're more successful. There's no glass ceiling. There's all these benefits that the company has that can be explored further by some of you that are brand new. I know, Quentin, you're fairly new, and I don't know how much business you have going on for yourself right now. But and there are a lot of men in this business, and a lot of the biggest businesses are run by men. We just, in our organization, we happen to have been led by a woman, Mary Loomis, but yet her son, Rob Loomis, inherited the business. So he has a business that's providing him over $500,000 or more a year that his mother had built for him. So there's so many benefits that we have to offer. Carolyn, I'm going to stop screen sharing, and I think what we can do is open it up for discussion.